For the start of this lesson, I'm going to go ahead and open up the first sample page, which is, well, the second sample page actually on this list, by clicking that file, and that will bring that page up into Procreate for us. Now, this is the file that I have provided you guys as part of the course. So, of course, you can use this throughout the course, and I will follow along through this, or you can use your own art. Obviously, it might be better to the first time around to at least try to follow along with this one, and then we'll take it from there. Now this page is already set to the multiply blending mode, and I would recommend using that to begin with. But if you happen to just start the file here, I believe it's in normal to begin with, which we talked about in the earlier lesson. And like I said, I would start in multiply. That's going to let us see right through all of that paper. So anything that we color underneath will be easy to see. In a later lesson, I'll show you guys a different way to set up the inks, but it's probably a little too technical for this early in this course. So the first thing I'm going to do is click on the plus sign in the layers window to open up a new layer. And that's going to create layer 2. I'm going to put my finger on that and hold it for a second and then drag it below the inks. Now let's go ahead and label this. I'm going to rename this by clicking the layer, and we're going to call it panels. And the way that I'm going to show you guys to flat this file, which is going to be the first kind of step in the coloring process, it's going to be specific to how I set up my pages and how I recommend setting them up given how Procreate handles selections, because there's some things I do with the layers and selections in Procreate that I don't do in other apps just because of some of the limitations that Procreate has. So if you're used to seeing my workflow in Clip Studio or Procreate, it's a little bit different. Still an efficient process. It's how I did several issues of this book in Procreate. But we're going to start with the panels. And there's a couple ways to do this. There almost always are a lot of ways to do this. But I'm going to start by clicking on the selection tool, clicking on that S up there at the top. And that's going to bring up the selection tool. And I'm going to click the freehand option. We used the rectangle earlier, but we're going to use the freehand. And I'm going to zoom up, and we're just going to start by basically tracing the border of each panel. And you want to make sure that you're inside that black line and not going outside. So I'm just going to click that corner, and then we'll zoom up and click this one. You could also do this, and I'm just dragging with 2 fingers across the canvas to there, and then up to this corner, and then all the way back over to here. And now you can see that we've selected that panel. So I can go to my layers, not my layers, make sure that I'm on my panels layer, and then go to your color, and we're just going to fill this with a color. So I'm just going to pick a color. It honestly doesn't matter what color at this point, and then grab that color and drag it into that box and let it go. And that's going to fill up that particular panel. We can do this with the rectangle tool as well. So I'm going to click my little selection tool again, and this time it's on, instead of freehand, I'm going to choose rectangle and just click at the top and drag to the opposite corner. Now we filled that. I'm going to choose a slightly different color and fill that panel. Same as before. And we're going to do that for all of these panels. And I'm just going to use the rectangle for now because it's probably a little bit faster. The colors at this point, I wouldn't worry about too much. It doesn't really matter. Now, if you make a mistake, I don't know if I did there or not. I may have been a little bit outside of the line there, but you can click on remove. And let's say that I went outside the top, and I can just create a rectangular selection outside the box, and that's going to remove any selections that I may have gone over that line. Again, I'm going to just bump this to a different color and fill it. So now to start off with, we have just our panels here, and this is going to come in handy if we ever need to just select a panel later to shift it a certain way. It'll be faster. We won't have to redo all that again. So once we've got our panels done, let's go back up to layers and swipe this panel to the left, and you're going to see an option to duplicate. Let's duplicate this layer. So now we have 2 panels layers. I'm going to take this first one, I'm going to rename it, and I'm going to call it Big Flats. These are my big, simple flats. Now this will be the first time in this video where we're going to be making some selections that aren't perfectly horizontal and perfectly vertical. And I want to explain why I don't want to use the lasso for what I'm about to do, because you guys are going to ask if I don't. So I'm going to show you real quick. I'm going to go to my lasso tool, or I call it the lasso. It's this freehand selection tool. It's called a lasso in most apps. So if I zoom up on this and draw a selection and then fill it with a color, I want you to notice something about these edges. You see how these edges are sort of blended, like they're not actually hard edges. This is a huge problem for trying to use Procreate to do flats, because flatting is just the first stage of separating all the colors out. And this is the reason why I don't use the lasso for flatting with Procreate, because later on, if I try to make a selection based on these particular selections, like if I go to the selection tool, click automatic, and then click that, you can see that it's not getting all the edges. Now, you can, with the selection, click and drag, and that will sort of start to fill in some of that stuff, and eventually it'll get all of it, but now you can see it's starting to get the white, and then it's selected the white too. So none of this is actually very workable for, I would say, a professional flatter or a professional colorist for that matter. That's why instead of using this sort of, aliased edge is really what that is, we're going to use that KMR flatter brush that I had you guys load earlier. And what you'll notice about this, and it's not perfect, I haven't been able to make it perfect, but what it does is it creates clean edges on these selections, okay? Another quick note I want to make at this point is, for my workflow, the colors that I'm picking at this point are not really relevant. The colors we're putting on here now are strictly for selection purposes later. This is totally an optional step. If you want to go straight to, the colors you think you'll be using, that's totally possible. You can go ahead and do that. I'm not going to be doing that for this particular course because I very rarely ever work that way. Because if I'm trying to make decisions while I'm trying to create these selections, it slows me down. If I know what I need to have separated and broken down, I can just do that. It doesn't really matter what the colors are. It's going to be easy to change those later. But let's finish up the big flats in the next one.